Friends GF is accusing me of having a baby with him, which is absolutely ridiculous. I had this friend who, back in high school, had a massive crush on me. He never outright confessed, but it was painfully obvious to everyone around us, including me. We were teenagers, and you know how those things go. Nothing ever happened between us. We eventually drifted apart, as people do, and went on with our lives. He moved to another state, got a girlfriend, and has been with her for a long time now. Meanwhile, I got married almost 6 years ago, and my husband and I have 2 beautiful kids, with another one on the way. The thing is, my friend and I hardly talk anymore. If we do, it's usually because he initiates it, and it's nothing more than a quick, "Hey, how are you?" type of conversation. The last time he reached out was when my youngest was born. He sent a simple "congratulations" text, and I replied with a quick "thanks." That was it. No back and forth. No deep conversation. My husband knows about him, and the crush he had on me back in the day, and it's never been a big deal. They've even met a few times because we're part of the same circle of friends. We've also met his girlfriend, and there's never been any tension or awkwardness. I don't reach out to him unless I'm responding to something he sent, and even then, I don't always reply. My husband's family owns a small coffee shop, and my friend knows about it. I usually spend my afternoons there with my 3-year-old son while waiting for my daughter to finish her after-school activities. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law are often there too, so it's a nice place for me to hang out for a couple of hours. Last Friday, though, something strange happened. I walked into the coffee shop and was surprised to find my former friend and his girlfriend there. It turns out they had rented a space in the shop for a week because he was back in town for some photography and video work. He's a visual artist now, and apparently, this was part of a project he was working on. It was weird seeing him there, but I didn't think too much of it. We exchanged the usual greetings, and that was that. What really made me uncomfortable was how shocked he looked when he realized I was pregnant. He started acting all nervous, which was strange, to say the least. They had met my son before, and while my friend didn't seem to pay much attention to him, his girlfriend was staring at him, like, really staring. It was intense enough that it gave me chills. Even my sister-in-law noticed it and asked me if everything was okay, without even knowing who the woman was. I texted my husband about it, and we both agreed that it was best for me to leave the shop for the day. Later that night, my husband and I talked about what happened. He tried to come up with a logical explanation, suggesting that maybe she's just really interested in having kids, which could explain the staring. But it still felt off. We decided that I should avoid the coffee shop until they were gone. They had rented the space for an entire week, and my husband even offered to ask his mom to cancel their arrangement, but I didn't want to hurt her business over something that might just be a misunderstanding. That night, though, things took a turn for the worse. My husband's phone started buzzing in the middle of the night, around 2 or 3 a.m. It wasn't a regular text message. It was a message on Instagram, sent to the coffee shop's account. It was from my friend's girlfriend. She asked my husband if he was sure that our son was really his. Then, a little later, she sent another message saying, "He doesn't look anything like you," and described how our son's hair is curly and light while my husband's hair is dark and straight. I was floored. I mean, seriously? My son's hair is curly and light because my hair is naturally curly and light. My husband doesn't have access to the coffee shop's Instagram account, so we didn't find out about the messages until the next morning when my sister-in-law called us to let us know what had happened. My husband is completely confident that I never cheated on him, and he has every reason to be. We weren't even in the country when our son was conceived. My husband was sent out of the country for work for a few months, and we all went with him. Me, our daughter, everyone. This whole situation is just ridiculous. But apparently, the girlfriend is convinced that our son is actually my friend's child. She even mentioned that 3 years ago, my friend traveled to our city alone and said something about now understanding why. To make matters worse, my friend texted me, almost accusing me of telling his girlfriend something that made her suspicious. It was as if he was trying to shift the blame onto me for whatever paranoia his girlfriend was experiencing. At that point, I was so done with the whole situation that I handed my phone over to my husband and let him deal with it. Meanwhile, I started receiving nasty texts and voice messages from her, accusing me of all sorts of horrible things. I wanted to block both of them immediately, but my husband suggested we keep the messages as evidence, just in case we needed to involve the police. My husband did respond to her first message, though. He told her, in no uncertain terms, that our son is absolutely his and that she needed to take her insecurities elsewhere. She then had the audacity to suggest a paternity test, which my husband quickly shot down because we don't need one. She's now demanding that we do a test if we have nothing to hide. The direct texts from her to me have lessened, but I'm still feeling uneasy. I've been staying home with the kids, worried that she might try something drastic. My mother-in-law was so angry that she kicked them out of the coffee shop and even refunded their money because she didn't want any more drama. But this whole situation is beyond embarrassing for all of us. I can't seem to stop crying. Not because I'm scared for my safety, they don't know where we live, but because I'm so filled with rage and frustration. This stress is definitely not good for the baby I'm carrying, and it's all just too much to handle right now. This morning, my former friend called again. My husband answered the call, and my friend practically begged us to do a paternity test to calm his girlfriend down. I've already blocked both of them on my phone, so that was the end of that. But now she's using other accounts to leave nasty comments on the coffee shop's Instagram, accusing me of having an affair and calling our son an affair baby. At this point, I don't even care about making her understand the truth. I just want her to stop and leave us alone.